Hi again. So it's late on Monday evening. It's nearly 10:30 and I do desperately need to get to bed. But before I do, I just want to finish off by talking about this book that I think I can say for definite has ended me. I think the last two books, so this is 12 Months by Jim Butcher. This is the most recent book. This is the latest book in the Dresden Files series. This is book 18. The last two books that we had were Peace Talks and Battleground. They were both released in 2020 within a couple of months of each other. Mentioned earlier it had been since about 2014 for the previous one, which was Skin Game. Amazing book. Then Peace Talks and Battleground happened, and because we got them in fairly quick succession, it was at the time very much 6 months of waiting with bated breath. I think I had just, at that point, I'd only reread, I think I reread a couple of the books. I'm going to say that I've just reread Skin Game, but I think I actually did read Ghost Story, Cold Days and Skin Game, simply because those were the last three most recent books. So I think because I knew the books were coming out, I reread them. And those are like three of the books that I have physical paperback copies of. The rest of them were on Kindle. So I did reread those three just to try and give myself a refresh before I went into Peace Talks and Battleground, and obviously it was building up to a big thing, hence why they were having Peace Talks, and then why the next book was called Battleground, because, well, the Peace Talks didn't go that well. So it's huge, it is on an epic scale, and there was so much that happened, there was so much to unpack, that I am really glad that I spent the last, was it 6 or so months, and I hadn't even found out that this book was coming out. It just had a nostalgic sense of, I don't really know what to listen to an audiobook right now. I feel a bit, I've definitely, the last year or so, I've found it harder to enjoy fiction as much, simply because I just don't feel I've got this sort of capacity at this point to really invest in learning new characters. So I've really been trying to go back to either series that I haven't finished, like the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I'm still on the last book, Warstorm, so I still got that in Kindle to get through, and I'm enjoying it. It's just, again, I'm just feeling a bit iffy with fiction at the moment. It's not the fault of fiction, sorry. It's literally just how I've been feeling with everything right now. I've just been finding more comfort in reading non-fiction works. But the Dresden Files, I knew that it was a comfort series. I knew that I loved the characters. I knew that I loved the world. And there was just a part of me that wanted to just absorb that world again. And like, I even have my good friend here, Bob, who likes to just hang out with me. Yeah, and Bob is named after Bob the Skull in the Dresden Files. I'm not totally insane. So yeah, if you haven't read it, like, you have to, just for the sheer fact of Bob, like, this Bob has arms and legs and stuff. You'll see I've got a couple of skulls around the room. They're Halloween decorations, but I have them, they have little hats. Those are Bob 1 and Bob 2. Also named after Bob from Dresden Files, and this one's a little bit drunk right now, so put you back up there. So yeah, that's a really long-winded way of saying I just wanted to be back in a comfort world, a comfort realm that I knew I would have a lot to get through, which is why I started re-listening to Dresden Files from the beginning. I think I read the first book, Stormfront. I've reread that a couple of times over the years. I think I'd maybe assumed that I was going to do a reread again or something, or I just wanted to re-familiarise myself with how the book opened and how the world began for the reader, to sort of help me with my own urban fantasy novel that I'm working on. So I think I've done that a few times, but this was the first time that I said I'm just going to do them all audiobook. I don't have time to sit and physically read the books again. I've got so many other things that I have to, sit and physically read. But I know that the audiobooks are good because they're narrated by James Marsters, who was Spike in Buffy. So he does like a really, really good job of narrating the audiobooks, and he's done every single book the whole way through except the book 17.5, The Law. I think it was that one. So that was the one that came out just before this, or it came out a couple of years ago, but it was a couple of short stories and then like a longer bit of story, I think, or it had like another story on the end of it, but it was a standalone kind of story to do with the law and justice and Harry sort of being dragged back into helping people again, and the job that he like originally was doing as being like a PI, a wizard PI who advertises in the Yellow Pages and has an office, and he's the only resident wizard that advertises in Chicago. And that was really, really good as well, and I don't think I'd actually listened to that, but James Butcher's his son. Jim Butcher actually narrated that himself. And then this one, I did buy the physical copy. I pre-ordered it as soon as I found out. I think it was December, it was quite late on when I found out. I just saw a tiny advertisement in Waterstones saying that this was, there wasn't a cover up at the time, but it's saying that this was going to be released at the end of January. So then I really had to kind of step up my game to get through all of the Dresden Files books. But it's incredible how much stuff that you missed, either just through the fact that it's been so long since you've read the books before. I think I started reading Dresden Files maybe 2009, 2010. Yeah, I had a best friend who really loved the Dresden Files, but I didn't really know much about it. I didn't realise it was like urban fantasy. I thought it was more like sci-fi, high fantasy or something, or like just a generic crime thing or something. So didn't really know that much about it. Then I knew someone else who was obsessed with the Dresden Files, and so was their family as well, because they also had Bob's skulls, which the first time that I was at their house, I was like, why do you have skulls? Not that I was complaining, I thought they were cool, but when they started saying Bob, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to read these books to know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's been a very long time. When I go back over my old Goodreads account, like, yeah, I've been here for a while. I've been doing this for a while. So I don't really know what I can say too much about this, because if you haven't read the other books, and especially if you've not yet read Peace Talks and Battleground, and you are planning to, I really don't want to give anything away. I will say that after Peace Talks was, like I said, Peace Talks was, it came out, so much stuff happened, but then you were like waiting with bated breath because you knew you were getting the next book in a couple of months, so there wasn't really a lot of time to really sort of speculate about what was coming, and it was really hard to decide or think about where it could go, what could happen, what does it mean for the characters, what does it mean for Harry. There was a lot of stuff like that, so it was just, and at the same time I didn't have anyone to talk to about it, so I just kind of waited the 6 months until Battleground came out, and then I think I cried for 2 days. Yeah, so not just because we were back into lockdown at that point, but also because the book literally just shattered me to pieces, and I 1000% recommend that you read it. So please join me in my pain. But yeah, I'm so glad that this came out. I'm glad as well that I did wait. I know this is now April the 6th, and I just finished this yesterday, so it's April 5th, so it's definitely been a couple of months since this book came out, but I am so glad that I went back and reread all the books again before getting to this, because I think I still would have enjoyed it, because I still remembered enough-ish of what happened in the last couple of books, but there's so much context, there's so much there's so many other parts of this story, so many other character lines and things that I really didn't think they happened that long ago in the series, or there are some things that I thought, oh, they were just at the beginning, but you know, we've had years of this. And like, one example just to say is Detective Karen Murphy, and she's the head of the Paranormal Investigations Department, or the CPD. She's a cop. Edit this out. Karen Murphy is the head of SI, Special Investigations, that's it. She's a cop in Chicago, and she kind of got dumped into this Special Investigations Department because they didn't know where else to put her, and also SI is usually where cops go and then promptly retire or leave the force, because it's where all the spooky stuff happens, and they have to either just lie about it, or they have to try and deal with it, I guess you could say. And the difference is with Karen is that she quite quickly learns through her affiliation with using Harry as a contact for spooky cases, etc. She starts to realise that all the spooky stuff is in fact real, so then she is able to accept it more than other people would have accepted it, but she still then has to find that line between still managing her job, doing what paperwork they need to do in order to make it seem like it's okay, it's just a regular case, or that there is an explanation for it, there's a human explanation for it, and then managing it that way. Now, in my head, for as long as I've been through this series, I really believed that Karen was the head of SI for a lot longer than she was, but going through the books again, and then there's a whole thing, I don't want to go into it all, but then she's not. And I think the way that it works out is that it's the majority of the series that she's not. And I'm curious, because I don't feel it really came up about how then was she managing to run her house, the finances, like, can you tell I'm in my 30s? Like, this is my concern. So there's just little things like that, and then there's like parts with Molly Carpenter that you'll see, and I think it is quite interesting as the story, the plot progresses throughout the entire series, that these other characters that Harry knows as children, his friends' children, like Michael Carpenter is the father of Molly Carpenter, and the first time that we see Molly, she's like maybe 13, 14. By this point, that we're at 12 months, I'm pretty much guessing that Molly at this point is at least 27, 28, but possibly older. Just given a few points about how she has to, there's a reason why she doesn't look the age that she should be, but she's able to manipulate her appearance so that she looks like she's got, like, the Harry's the narrator saying that she's like added like lines and sort of wrinkles, a wee bit lines to her face to make it look more age appropriate and stuff. So they're not really specifying the ages of the characters at this point anymore. I think what I heard years ago is that at the very beginning Harry was meant to be about 28 in the first book, and then given that we've got 18 books now, yeah, we can figure it out. It's not necessarily one per year, because there definitely are gaps between each book. There are a couple of times where there's been a gap of a year before the next book starts, so the time has kind of been marching on beyond just what we're getting here. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that. There's other sort of side plots and other things that you know are going to become important that I really missed the significance of them at the time, I guess. So yeah, doing the reread was definitely worthwhile. So if you, I think even if you have read Dresden Files and you've maybe not actually got to 12 months yet, I wholeheartedly implore you to reread the books if you can. Either if you've got like copies already, or if you can get the audiobooks. I think I actually was inspired to do this because my library had the first 3 or 4 books on the Libby app, and that's where I was able to listen to the first couple, and that's why I got through them and was really drawn back into it. But they didn't have the rest of the books at this point. I did request them all, so I'm hoping that they will have them there, so that for anyone else in the Glasgow area that uses that library will actually be able to get Dresden Files now. So this is so good. It's so good. It's like made my heart feel better from Battlegrounds, but at the same time I am concerned about what's to come. I am concerned about where Harry's going to go. I am concerned about the fact that I think Jim Butcher said he planned like 22, 25 books, and I don't know if he's including the novellas in that count. So I'm really scared that this is book 18 and we might only have a handful of books left, and again, as I said, I don't want to be that person. I understand authors have got lives and they have other commitments and families and things that they do, and Jim Butcher does have another series as well that he writes. I don't want to wait another 6 years. I can't wait another 6 years, because then I'll be well into my 40s at that point. So yeah, that is terrifying, but yeah, I just wanted to come on and say that, like, I really have to go to sleep right now, but I just wanted to get this done and say my piece about the Dresden Files. If I haven't made it clear yet, please read the Dresden Files if you like urban fantasy, if you like wizards and witches and fae and spooky stuff and you like Chicago, I've never been to Chicago. I feel reading this book I have been to Chicago. I really want to go. If you like random sentient skulls called Bob, read it. If you like random characters that are tragic but still humorous, if you know, like the weird kids and yeah, feel pity for them not having anywhere to go, and yeah, finding their way to the resident wizard that's going to help them because he was a sad loner kid too. It's basically found family. It's basically a story of found family in the end. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just so good. It's just definitely one of my comfort series. And there was a TV show made of it, and years and years ago, and it's Paul. Is it Paul Blackthorne? He played Laurel Lance's dad in Arrow. God, I can't even remember. I think it was a Captain Lance at one point. So yeah, the actor that played him, so he played Harry Dresden in the Dresden Files series. That was a one-off thing because I was told that it was terrible, I was told it was dreadful, and then it appeared on a streaming service at one point, probably during lockdown when we watched all the random TV shows, and I watched it and I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. It was not, you know, exactly the world of the Dresden Files, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, and I really feel that maybe if they'd given it more of a chance and went for season 2, they could have worked on things a bit more to make it more like the actual thing. But from what I remember of it, like, I didn't hate it, and I was just sad that I let somebody else's, you know, their judgment of it stop me from watching it for a decade. But you live and you learn, so please, please, please read the Dresden Files, not least because I really need someone to talk to about it. And then just before I go, I did get my new toy. I got the DJI Osmo 3, and get my face out the way. So I got this, and it was it was like the content creator pack or something. So it came with like the extra pack to put in, and it's like a battery pack, but there's also like an extra smaller pack that's just so that it's easier to hold, but you can detach this and then just hold it as just as part itself. And then it has the little tripod bit that's just got the screw part that can also screw into the bottom of this, and it's so easy to like wake it up. You just like turn the screen and then the gimbal moves itself. It's so easy, and yeah, it can see exactly what you're doing, and then it can show you everything, and then it can track you as well. Like, it's really incredible how it works, and the fact that it's so small, and it's such a handy like compact piece of high-tech equipment really. It also came with the little microphone, like the wireless microphone. So I've got that too, I've tried it out. But yeah, no, I'm gonna just end this vlog off here. So thankful for you to come back and join me again. It is not just a welcome back for you, it's a welcome back for me. It's been a while since I've been able to do this, but I just want to show a bit more of the realistic side of my life as well. There's so many times that I've been trying to film in the last couple of years that I've just not been able to, because of ill health and because of not feeling great, and not feeling a look suitable to go on camera, etc. So I was just trying to be a bit more realistic about it, and like I really want to pursue this. I want to like talk about books. I want to like show you daft things that I'm doing in my life and my bookshelves, because well, you guys care about it and other people don't. So I just want to be able to like show all of this stuff, and journaling, life stuff, and writing, and have all of this. And I just want to, and crocheting as well. I just want to be able to share all of this for myself as much as for an audience as well, just so that I have a record of things that I have done. There's definitely past times in my life where I really wish that I documented stuff a lot more, rather than just letting the days pass by. Had it ever occurred to me to try and just film and record and make vlogs and stuff like that, would have been incredible. Like I could have had so much to show for like my years at uni, for my year abroad, all of that as well. So like I really just want to do that now, because the last couple of years just have kind of flown by a lot, and I just want to know that I'm doing something that aligns with me as well. So yeah, before I get too mushy, I'm gonna just wrap this up here, and I definitely thank you so much for joining me. And if you have liked this lovely long rambling vlog, please give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy and want to see more, and I promise this time I will be back soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.